Hello, everybody. Today is a ripper episode of Freedom Uncensored. We're going to be talking about you being able to get yourself into a position in your business where you don't have to service all the clients. And unbeknownst to most people, marketing really is the centerpiece to that lever. It's not the only component to that, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely one significant lever that we need to pull. And I'll explain to you in the episode why that's the case. How can a marketing strategy possibly get somebody leveraged into their business where they're only servicing as many clients as they want to, and then they're spending the rest of their time doing whatever the heck they want? And for a lot of people, that can be different things. When I speak to salon and clinic owners, often their definition of freedom is quite varied. So, some clinic owners only want to work on clients 1 day a week, whereas another one might want to do 2 days a week, whereas another one might not want to do any at all, right? So there's definitely different levels of freedom that people are trying to create for themselves in their salon or clinic businesses. And today's episode is really about unpacking how marketing can play a role in giving you that leverage and that freedom. So let's talk about sort of how I got to this point. I think that most salon and clinic owners want more freedom in their businesses, but they're really stuck on how to facilitate that. Now, there's obviously a few factors at play here in you being able to step out of your business profitably, safely, successfully, without there being any damage, obviously, in the process. Damage being that you lose money, that you lose clients, that the quality drops. Like there's different fears that anybody watching this thinking, yeah, I'd love to be able to reduce my hours, but, there's concerns about what can happen in that transition period. So, obviously there's other parts of business like having structures and processes and leadership, and marketing's not the only element that can definitely influence how much freedom you have from servicing clients. But I'm going to focus on that today. That is going to be the focus of our conversation, because the marketing strategy that I implement on behalf of salon and clinic owners, because effectively what I sell is freedom, is highly successful in being able to release salon and clinic owners from the day-to-day grind of servicing too many clients. So I'm going to talk to you guys in depth about that marketing strategy, about how it works, all the elements, and then you're going to leave today's session feeling really pumped about having an opportunity to potentially look at this marketing strategy as one of the steps that you can take to start to reduce your client service load. So most clinic owners want more freedom, but they can't access the freedom because, if you want to call it, they're a slave to client demand. And what I mean by this is that, it's almost the obligation to service clients for a number of different reasons. And the thing is, to me, obligation is the opposite of freedom. When you're doing something out of obligation, you're doing it because you have to, not because you want to. And I think there's a lot of salon and clinic owners out there in their businesses that are doing a lot of things in their business because they have to, but not necessarily because they want to. If I leave any legacy in my journey in the hair and beauty industry, it's that you can actually build a business where you only do things that you want to do. I'm living, breathing proof of that. A lot of my clients are living, breathing proof of that. But there's obviously a process that you need to follow and structures that you need to put in place to make that a reality. So why are people, clinic and salon owners, a slave to service demand? Well, first and foremost, mostly because they can't afford to step out. So when they crunch the numbers, it's like, man, if I moved all of my client load across to my team and I worked out how much I needed to pay in wages and all of the bits and pieces, the extra costs, and then included me not generating income. So yeah, I've lost a person. Sorry, guys, I've got this awful throat lurgy. at the moment. So might have to take some sips of water through the broadcast, so please excuse me. But when they've crunched the numbers, they can't afford it. So they look and they go, well, take one person out of service delivery, which is me. So yes, I've got a little bit of room to be able to move these clients onto other people, but the reality is that some of the team members are probably not going to produce the revenue that I do. There's also concerns about the quality of the service in handing those clients over, and also having enough resource to be able to do that. So having enough team members available to be able to take on the client load. So the other barriers are that they don't have the systems and operations to support a team in that way. A lot of the intellectual property lives in your head, the way that you sell, the way that you do, the way that you plan for clients, the way that you get clients committed to service and treatment plans. A lot of that lives in your head, and then you're not confident of being able to pass on that responsibility to maybe less experienced team members in a way that's going to set them up for success. And, it's all of those things that keep salon and clinic owners stuck servicing too many clients. And when I say too many, there's no exact number to that. It's just a knowing that you don't want to be servicing this many clients. And whatever that looks like to you, then it looks like to you. But, the reality is you can't afford it. You're scared of the consequences of handing clients over. You don't have enough clients to hand over, or you've got too many to hand over and you don't have enough team members. So when we talk about marketing in this context, this is the potential for you to be able to definitely hand over the clients that you've got, and there's some nuances to that. When you're handing over clients to team members, the team members need to not be you exactly, but they need to be able to have established a quality of service delivery that is of a standard that you're not going to lose clients. Now, to a certain degree, unless they're trainees, which you probably wouldn't hand you being an experienced therapist, stylist of how many years, you're probably not going to hand your clientele over to a trainee, and I'd probably not recommend that, right? So absolutely not. But when you're looking around your team members and you go, look, they do provide a good quality of service. Do they do it like me? No, because no one's me. But you want to make sure that when you're handing them over, that they're not dropping in the quality of service. Clients can handle a difference in style. They can't handle a difference in quality. Okay. So even though the way, the means, the personality of the person that they're handing over to might be quite unique or different to you, as long as the quality's there, the client will stick around. Clients have very much an approach of better the devil you know than you don't know. So they're much more likely to try someone that you recommend than to go off to a salon or clinic down the road and try someone that they've got no clue as to whether they're going to provide a good service or not. So just by virtue of proximity to you and by your recommendation, they're taking your word for it. They're trusting you because you've always done a great job, and they will try the team members that you're recommending. However, that requires courage. It requires you to get out of your own way, get out of your own head, step out of your own ego, that you're the best and no one's ever going to do what you do, and hand them over, right? First and foremost. But on the basis that you can guarantee the quality of the service, not the sameness, even though there should be a branding thread through this, that, there should be some similarities in the client experience throughout all of your team members if you've got a consistent client journey that is aligned with your branding, but that they're not going to drop service quality when they do that. That's very, very important when you're looking at reducing your hours and handing some clients over, that you can definitely guarantee that quality. Now, it might be that financially, when you hand your clients over to the team that you do have and you calculate everything, that you still, and even at their best performance, and you can always work on performance to obviously fix your cash flow and replace your income. That's definitely something that you can do, but that fits in the other operational things that you need to do. And I'm not focusing on that today. I'm focusing on marketing. But if you fill up all of your team members, successfully hand over all of your clients, and there's still not enough revenue coming in to cover your income, then you need to obviously first and foremost find more resource, right? Let's say you've got more resource available, you've got some more team members, but often I find one of the biggest challenges is being able to fill up those team members with clients and enough clients to offset the lost revenue of you stepping out of the client delivery role and into a more visionary role in your business, if that's what you want to be doing. So, you know, I find that with all of the clinic owners and salon owners that I've worked with, when I've really refined the way that they find new clients on demand, obviously the strategy that I'm going to talk about is through paid advertising and paid social media. Their confidence to be able to step away from the tools is so much more significant when they know they can just press a button and generate as many new clients as they need to be able to offset that income. Right. So, you know, just having that capacity to be able to do that helps the transition become much smoother, because you're not going to fret for clients. You're not going to worry about hiring a team member and being able to fill them up. And not only that, filling them up to a level where the business is not going to go backwards because you've stepped out of the client service delivery role. You know, for people that don't have the ability to press a button and find new clients, it takes a long time to rebuild the revenue lost from stepping back from clients. It's such a slow burn. That's It's just that scares people away from doing it. They don't have the money in the bank to wait 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to rebuild the revenue that is not being produced by you stepping away from the tools. But if I could give you a button that you press that produced as many new clients that you needed to generate that revenue, I bet you'd feel a lot more confident in being able to step away, knowing that new clients were just a button push away, right? So having the skill of being able to create so much demand for your service that you can fill up as many team members as you need to generate the money that you need to offset you not servicing clients anymore changes the game, right? And unfortunately, for clinic owners that are trying to achieve this reality, they make some mistakes in that. So the mistakes that they make is that they come off the tools prematurely, and obviously all those other things that you need to have in place, the systems, the processes, the leadership, the structures, the client journey, the quality, the skills of the team members is not there, and it fails. And I'll have a lot of, I've heard from clinic owners and salon owners before. They go, "Oh, see, I told you I shouldn't have stepped off the tools." And it's like, yeah, but you didn't have all of those other things set up. A little side note, in my Freedom Mastery coaching program, we fix all of that. It's called Freedom Mastery for a reason, right? So all of those little nuances around operations, leadership and structures and everything that you need to have in place to take your hands off the steering wheel, we sort out all of that in the 16-week training program that we run. But in the marketing side of things, which we also include as part of the package, the key is that within the flick of a button, you've got enough clients to be able to backfill revenue lost from you stepping out of the business. And that is incredibly important. The problem is business, yes, they don't have the operations to support it. That's one problem. The second problem is it takes too long to backfill the revenue. You know, you're sending out some emails and you're doing some SMSs and your organic social media is doing this and it's doing that. Your SEO is doing this and it's doing that. And you're 1 month, 2 months, 3 months coming off the tools and you run out of money, right? Because the marketing strategies that you have relied on and that you thought was going to help backfill the service delivery that you vacated doesn't produce in the time frame that you need. And I'm going to talk to you about why that is, because a lot of salon and clinic owners pick marketing strategies that are not relevant to their objective. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So let's take organic social media as a really good example. And I'll give you an example of a conversation that I had with a clinic owner the other day. So this clinic owner has opened a new site. So she did have an existing clinic. However, she was fully on the tools in that clinic. So most of the revenue was sitting on her shoulders. Now, she come on to Freedom Mastery. She said, right, I've got to get out of this business because I've got to grow it. And I've just invested $350,000 in a new fit out. So even though she had the bravery to go, hang on a minute, I understand that if I'm going to make more money, I can't be on the tools because I've got to be able to lead this team and engage in marketing and do all of these other things to grow the business. I can't be in the treatment rooms. She had the bravery and she just stepped straight out. Right, she just said, well, I get it, guys, let's do it. She's in Freedom Mastery and she's plugging away on all the strategy and on all the operations. The part that she messed up was the marketing component, because what she did was she went and paid a marketing agency that specialized in organic social media. So when you think about organic social media is obviously posting to your Instagram, your Facebook, 3 posts a week, whatever it is. But the very nuance of that strategy is that it doesn't produce bookings and volume of bookings immediately. So when if you're doing organic socials well, what you're doing is you're establishing authority, brand awareness, your trust building. All of those things are very, very important. It's not a bad strategy. But this clinic owner needed bums on seats. And the reality is that organic social media is going to take time to be able to do that. And she didn't have the time. She had a 350,000 clinic fit out hanging over her head. She had all of these team members sitting there waiting for an appointment, and she was paying an organic social media person a couple of $1,000s a month to produce her social media posts, and she thought that was going to fill the appointment books, and it didn't. Right? And like I said, it's not a bad strategy, but the reality is she needs the appointments now. So not the right strategy, okay? The thing that I said to her is all marketing strategies do have a time and a place, but it depends on where you're at in business and what you need. I'll give you a few other examples of that. So SEO is a really good one. I could count, if I had $1 for every time I spoke to a person that had just opened a business, a clinic or a salon, that thought investing in SEO was going to bring them all of these new clients quickly to get them up and running off their, I'd be a millionaire. I'd be an absolute millionaire how many people thought that SEO was a good idea. The reality is SEO is not a bad idea when it comes to optimizing your visibility and online and getting people to see your business when they're searching for different services and things like that. Is it going to put bums on seats now? No. It takes months for SEO optimization to kick in and have a good effect. So again, like if you're a clinic owner that's got stable cash flow, you're not in need of volumes of clients, you're sitting pretty, you've got some pretty good new client strategies, you've got good re-engagement tools, you've got organic socials that's ticking along nicely, and you've got some extra revenue to invest in all the marketing strategies. Go and put some money on SEO, but don't do it if what you need right now is some immediate bookings, right? Because like I said, every marketing strategy gets to work, but some of them take a lot longer than others. There's a big lag in there before they actually start producing results. Organic social media, SEO, brand, like even paid ads on social media. I had another hairdresser, actually, really successful one on the Gold Coast. She's got a few salons now, and she was running me through her marketing strategy, and she was running Facebook ads, but she was running brand awareness campaigns. Now, it makes sense. Oh, okay, well, if you've opened a new site in Gold Coast, it makes sense to want to get your brand out there. But the reality is this hair salon owner was looking for bookings. And I said, a brand awareness, letting people know who you are and where you are, is not going to get you bookings. People are going to look at that and go, oh, that's nice. So even paid ads, which is what I'm going to talk to you about, if they're done in not the wrong way, but if they're done in a particular way, like brand awareness, the objective is brand awareness, not booking, not conversion, right? And depending on, she needed converting ads. She needed to be able to fill her hair salon full of new clients because it was a new site. So brand awareness, yeah, it's important, but it's not going to fill our appointment books, right? So in the context of you replacing your revenue, it's got to be replaced quickly. You don't, unless you've got a huge financial buffer sitting in your bank account, which you probably don't, because if you did, you wouldn't be servicing clients. Or probably not the amount that you would be servicing. So I'm guessing that most of you that are servicing clients too many are doing it because you don't have the money. So you don't have big cash reserves there. So you've got to turn over the new client bookings quickly, right? So I want to talk to you about how paid ads can do that, right? And it's quite a controversial strategy. It's not, I feel like the people that speak out against volume marketing, they just don't get it. They just don't understand the nuances of this marketing strategy. So I'm going to talk to you about how it works and how it can quickly refill your revenue. If you decide that you want to service less clients, because let's face it, your ability to earn more money is not servicing clients. But when you take the plunge and you've got the power to press a button and refill that revenue with the amount of new clients that you need to not have to stress financially about stepping back from the tools, that skill set is incredibly powerful. So volume marketing is the way to do that. Now, what I mean by volume marketing is that you use paid advertising, so Instagram, Facebook ads, social media paid advertising, to put an offer out there that is highly compelling. Now, when I talk about compelling, or I can refer to low barrier, what it means is that it is there's not a lot of resistance to the client being able to book that appointment. Now, commonly, there's barriers to people seeing an offer and wanting to book it. The common barriers for anybody in any industry are price, whether it's attractive or not, whether they actually want the service, whether they like the service and it's something that they're interested in, what it looks like, the creative, does the ad look professional, slick? Does it look like the person in the video or the actually knows what they're doing? So there's some key fundamental elements to putting together an ad that I'm not going to go in lots of detail into, but in volume marketing ads, all of that needs to be good. But basically, when you put out a compelling price point, people, sorry guys, who are interested in that type of service will book. Now, that's reasonable enough. Yeah, I'm going to book this. Right. So, and all the rest of it needs to align: the copy, the creative, everything that goes into creating a really compelling ad. But predominantly price being the central part of someone looking in that and deciding yes or no. Now, when I say price, I don't mean bargain basement type pricing, like stuff that's just going to ruin your business and set you back and so on and so forth. But I do mean a price point that is highly competitive. And you might not be used to selling things at that price point, right? But every low barrier strategy needs a very, very good back end strategy to support it. And this is where most people go wrong. Okay, so for the industry people out there that have opinions on this strategy not working for the long term, basically my view on that is that they've spoken to a lot of salon or some salon and clinic owners that have really struggled to get the long-term viability out of this marketing strategy. And I will say, I get it, but it can be fixed. And I think that with the challenging nature of this marketing strategy, most salon and clinic owners that have tried this and it hasn't worked either have been unwilling to implement the rest of what's required around the consultation process and other things that need to be in place to make this successful, and have thrown their hands in the air and gone, it's actually just too hard, right? There's a consequence to volume. There is. Like, the consequence to volume is you're not always going to get ideal clients. Fine. What we know is at least 70% of them will convert to ongoing services if they're consulted right. The reality is that cold market, so clients that have never ever had a service like yours before, are not going to be running into the salon and clinic and throwing their money at you, right? They're going to be a bit colder. than your existing clients. Now, for people that are not used to that, for clinic owners that are used to servicing a well-established clientele, having somebody come in from an ad who's not ready to buy can be a bit shocking. Oh, you mean I've got to work hard in a consult to get this person to take my products and my treatment plan? Yeah, you do. Right? The other thing is that the stock standard consult doesn't work. So if you think that you're just going to educate somebody and they're going to buy all of your things, you're going to be sorely mistaken when it comes to this strategy. And in fact, you're going to be sorely mistaken overall because education doesn't sell, right? What does sell is motivation and emotions and getting people, asking people in consultation processes. And there is a consultation structure that we help all of our clients that are implementing a volume marketing strategy. It is now mandatory. I've made it mandatory that they have this motivational consultation method implemented before they run the strategy. It is mandatory or you can't work with me. But for the salons and the clinics that this didn't work for, I can guarantee you they either didn't have the consultation process in place, not an education consultation process, a motivational one, or they did and they didn't follow it through, or they weren't compliant with it, or the team wouldn't deliver it the way that it was supposed to, and the consult let them down. Right? So to be successful at this, obviously you need to be able to have a business that can cope with and deal with volume, whether that be from, managing your inbox inquiries to, having, whether it's a front of house person that can do all the appointment confirmations, and then team members that are equipped enough around sales and consultation motivational method to be able to make sure that they can convert these clients, right, into longer term packages, memberships, whatever it is. So I actually want to show you some of the data because I think there's some people out there that just think I say this because I've got a marketing agency and I want to sell marketing services, but it's actually not the case. Like my claim that this works for long-term commitment is based on data. And I've brought a couple of examples for you guys today to show you the back end strategy of, if you are thinking about coming off the tools and you do need a certain number of clients to backfill the revenue lost from you backing away from clients, I want to show you how it all works so that you can decide whether something like this might be for you. And if you do decide it's for you, then you can do that with a sense of relief, knowing that, okay, well, this is what I can expect if I do a strategy like this. So give me just one moment to share my screen. All right. So just for confidentiality reasons, I have de-identified the name of the clinic and I have also removed all of the names of the clients because obviously I don't think clients want their name up in lights in the hair and beauty industry that they've had a service. So this is a fully de-identified document, but obviously we've got data in here, which is what we want, right? So we run campaign periods over 3 months. So you can see here September all the way through to November, 1st of December being the start of a new season, right? I'm just going to show you this. Here's the season summary, and then I'll show you the intricacies of that. So what this shows is that this business owner over the 3-month campaign was able to produce $34,860 worth of revenue. They spent $4,340 doing that. They had 350 leads and 91 bookings from that. And this is the revenue that they produced. Don't worry about this. This is just about their conversion lead management wise, how many people inquired and actually went through to the booking stage. But as you can see here, the clinic owner here has made an 8 times return on investment. So imagine, and this clinic owner right here, the backstory is that she was a sole operator and now she's preparing to step off the tools. right? So first and foremost, the job for her was to fill her own books first and foremost. The second step is to be able to hand all of these clients in the next stage of equal quality to the team members that she's going to hire. So she's kind of at step 2 of the freedom mastery process, right? But regardless, what she's doing is she's learning how to press a button and produce, for every dollar that she's spending, producing $8 in revenue. Now, for a business owner that is potentially scared to even hire team members, how much confidence would this fill you? Oh, I know that I can press a button, and for every dollar that I spend in my Facebook ad account, I can create $8. Let's go get some team members, because I know I'm going to be able to fill them up, right? And then obviously when the team members are skilled enough to a certain level, she's just going to up the ante on this and get more, and then backfill her revenue to make sure that she doesn't lose any money from stepping off the tools, right? Now, this is the clincher. I'm going to go through all of these sheets through the 3 months. For anybody that says that clients on low barrier to entry ads are not rebooking, have a look at the stats on this. These are all the rebooked clients. Signed up for a 12-month membership, signed up for a 12-month membership, signed up for a 12-month membership. This offer, pretty sure it was a $197 offer. So again, you can do low barrier, but it doesn't necessarily have to be low price, right? This person was running a $197 offer on Facebook ads, right? So she's recording her retail here, but look at the long term out of this. Now, and it's consistent across all the months. Look at the long term on this. Who said clients from Facebook ads don't rebook? Who said low barrier to entry marketing doesn't get long-term clients? Look how many of these people have signed up for memberships. Look at them, taking retail and, this final month. And there's the end result. Now, this is on the front end. This is just from the first appointment. So for the $4,300 that she spent getting these clients through the front door, she's already made $34,000. That's not including all of the future visits that she's going to make from those clients coming back on their memberships and paying in installments or whatever I think she is on installments. Right? But there are people out there saying that this doesn't work for the long term, and I disagree. And I don't disagree because I've got a marketing agency that sells like this. I disagree because I've got the data and I know. Right. Here's another example. Man, if you're in New Zealand and you're watching this, come and talk to me, because New Zealand is just, anything we do over there absolutely goes bonkers. So this is a New Zealand clinic that markets with us. All right, so obviously this has all been de-identified. What offer did they do? I think this was a $69 offer. 167. No, maybe it's 167. Yeah, minus their deposit. Yep. So as you can see from here, here's all the clients. Look at all the packages that were sold. Rebooks. Yep. In their first month, they spent $2,129 and they made $25,368. Just insane. And then on the second month, they keep going. I think we've got a campaign summary on this, but total spend $1,785. Total revenue produced $19,448. So that's a 10-time return on investment. And look at the rebooks. You won't rebook everyone, right? But predominantly this clinic here are rebooking people. These are long-term clients that they're getting in from the ads, right? All the evidence is here. And I've got reams of obviously got, I don't want to spend the whole day with you on YouTube going through return on investment summaries. But these are 2 samples of clinics that are not only getting people in on low barrier to entry offers, they're getting lots of volume through, they're getting them to opt into packages, memberships, whatever it is that they're selling, and they're getting the repeat business. This business owner has successfully stepped off the tools, and has no problems with being able to generate the revenue lost from her making that decision, backfilling the revenue that's been produced, for her decision to step off the tools. And now the thing is with both of these, and anybody that does that, now they make more money, because yes, that they can be rest assured that they press a button on paid social media and they've got revenue that can backfill the vacancy of them not servicing clients anymore. But now they actually have the breathing space to be able to mentor and support the team members to the level that they need to be able to perform at high levels around sales and retention and products and, you know, systems and client journey and experience and technical skills and all the things that we need to run really successful hair, beauty and skin businesses. You can do it properly when you're not back to the eyeballs full of clients. But I understand the reluctance to step away when you look around and you go, well, if I lost this much revenue and I've got no quick way to refill it, then that's a scary notion, stepping off the tools and, you know, and having to manage the business over the next few months when I slowly start to rebuild the lost revenue. And then the reality is when I look in my bank account, I don't have 3 months worth of buffer money sitting in my bank account to weather that period of time. So this is really where a volume marketing strategy can support that process, because it's not a number of months that you're waiting to be able to backfill that revenue. It can be instant. It can be within the month, could be within 2 months. Like there's no like absolute time frame for that. But as far as waiting 9 to 10 months for an SEO strategy to kick in, or, you know, 6 or 7 months for your organic socials, if it does, to start producing bookings or booking requests, you know, the low barrier to entry paid advertisement methodology is the quickest and most effective and reliable strategy that you've got at your fingertips from a marketing standpoint that can extract you from your business. And this is the reason why so many of the clinics that I work with have got business owners that are working ideal hours, because they press a button and they don't lose revenue. A lot of my clients are, you know, they can still be servicing clients because they like it, but they're not doing it out of obligation. They're doing it because they like it, and they're doing it at the threshold that feels good for them. So then they've got the time, the energy, you know, to give to the team members, to give to the family members, to give to, you know, we wear all the hats in business. You know, there's nothing worse than using up all of your energy showing up for clients, and then there's none left for all the other parts of the business that need, if not more attention. There's just not that much of you left, right, to be spread around so thin. So I think that if there's an intention there to build a business that has team members involved, your best opportunity here is to try and optimize and get your client service delivery levels down to a manageable level, in terms of manageable in that you're available for all of the other hats that you need to wear in the business, particularly leadership mentoring, quality assurance, you know, all of those things that are super important, so that you can still continue to grow the business and make more money, even though you're not in the service, in the treatment rooms, or servicing, having clients in the chair as much. So this gets to work. This strategy actually gets to work. But what I will say is that there's definitely parts that you need to have in place around operations, motivational consult method, that make this successful. So if you are hearing commentary in the industry from people that say this is a quick fix, this is a quick cash strategy, it's not. It's absolutely not. You can make money from this in the long term if you have the right structures set up. And the people that are saying this don't understand that part. They don't have the familiarity, the experience with it. And as you can see, some people that are talking about this have never, ever marketed in this way, ever. They've never done paid ads. Or they might have done paid ads, but not so much in a volume marketing perspective. or they've tried volume marketing and they haven't had the skills or the experience to target the ads properly or get the offers right, or, so they haven't done it in the right way. And then they've got something to say about it, right? So if you're watching this and you want to work less on clients, but you don't have a game plan, or you're scared, or you're looking at your revenue and thinking the business wouldn't survive me stepping back right now, this is the best way to do it. Right? This is the best way to do it. It ensures demand, cash flow, it backfills vacated revenue from you not servicing clients anymore, and it does it quickly. Right? I'd love to know your thoughts on what I've presented today. Good, bad, ugly, I don't mind, really. Like, people have so much to say about this marketing strategy when it comes to sort of throwing stones at it. So even if you have something bad to say, I don't mind saying it in the comments. But if you'd love to get some more training around this, there's also a link in the comments that you can access that steps you through the Freedom Mastery model, full training there, so you can understand not just the marketing component, but all of the elements. So hope you'd enjoyed it, guys.